Hi, this is Guy Richardson for Earthform Landscaping. And today we're going to go over how to trim up Spirea, in particular the gold mount Spirea. This particular Spirea that I'm going to be discussing and showing how to trim has been in this location for approximately 10 years. It's done quite well over that period. Its current location is not the optimal for its growth and its size. However, I do keep it down smaller so it can fit in there just nicely. To do that, I get it down to approximately 12 inches to 16 inches each spring, early, just like this. And that way it can grow approximately 18 to 20 inches in the year. The gold mount Spirea we grow specifically for its foliage. It has beautiful blooms on it. They don't last long, and so after approximately a week, I go ahead and trim those back and trim it down, not as far as 12 inches, but I just trim it just a couple of inches so I can knock off the old or the blooms that have started to fade, and that's when I do trim them, once they start to fade. And then after that, it has that nice, beautiful, rich lime-colored green that it has in the springtime. So it's a fresh green color when everything is starting to turn it has less vibrancy in their foliage colors. So that's what we want to bring out, that beautiful, rich lime color. And we'll show you how to do that. Here's the gold mound that I was talking about. It's right next to the red corkscrew, red majestic corkscrew actually. So this is on one side, and over here is, sorry for the shadows, here's the other one. Now I do have others that are over here. We're going to do the same concept. Now I'm going to try to show this without giving too much shadow, but right now that's approximately, these are out approximately 20 inches, these branches about 24 inches, and I'm going to take that down to probably about 12 inches, and I do that with my nice clean clippers that have been washed in a soap solution and then wiped down with a weak bleach solution and then rinse with water. I don't use anvil types for this. I use this type of a hand clipper. Would take that down all the way around to the 12-inch way down here. Now if you'll notice, just notice these here. These already have nice red bloom or buds that are starting to show activity. Now most plants set their blooms and their buds in the fall, as these do, but it's when they start turning a red color that you know activity has begun and you need to start trimming. That's usually when you know that the game's on. You got to start trimming now, and we'll do that. Now with Spirea, you don't necessarily have to follow the third and third rule. However, it's good to do that every couple of years. What you want to do is, what that third and third rule is, by the way, is it's 1/3 take it down in height, and the other third is to thin it out. You should thin out the Spirea anyways, because it gets those branches that want to crisscross. You always want your branches, if they're starting on the left side, do not grow on the right, but get them to go on the left side. Trim those out. It's good to thin these out so you get that nice sun penetration to all locations of the plant, so its foliage can thrive and it'll be full on both sides. Okay, as you can see, I've taken that shrub down to approximately 16 inches. It depended on where I was trimming, whether the front or the back or the sides that needed that. So just to even it out. Now as I got in farther from after I trimmed out the top, I could see that there were more dead branches and larger woody branches in there than I was expecting to see from the top. So as any time, in order to see what you've got in the middle, you need to take off the surface so you can see in there. So I trimmed out the old dead wood branches, and that's the pile right there, good hair pile, and then assessed the larger branches, and I trimmed those out based on their direction and what they were producing. I really wanted to be able to have the the younger stalk being the star. For example, something like this is what's going to last several more years, but as the years go by, a branch like this is going to go by the wayside. And it actually had some rubbing on it that was in this past winter. I'm going to leave that just to see what it does. But anyways, you can see other wearing on the woody branches. You won't get that on the younger branches because the younger branches will give. The larger woody branches don't have as much give, and therefore they're going to scar up much easier and they can break easier. I don't tie up any of my Spirea, and the reason is it's time, and it doesn't necessarily need it, because if you keep out your larger woody branches, if you trim those out and you only have your younger stalk in here, and again, you get this younger stalk by trimming out, allowing the sun to penetrate the area so new buds will appear in these lower areas. If you have these younger stalk always coming up, then the winter won't be breaking them nearly as much as what if you had your larger woody branches. Okay, so that's why you want to trim and keep them thinned out so the light will penetrate to the other side and you have an even growth. Pretty much in a spot like this where it's hidden until noon, it's hard to get that even growth, but it does pretty well, to be quite honest, even when it's next to this large red majestic corkscrew. So there you have it. Didn't take long at all using just these garden variety hand trimmers. They're sharp. I keep those sharp and washed and cleaned, and it's good to go. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll have more how-to-dos and on various other types of shrubs. And thank you. Again, this is Guy Richardson for Earthworm Landscaping on how to trim out some gold-bound Spirea. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Bye now.